One of the main criticisms of the Donald Trump campaign is that Donald Trump has no good policy ideas, and they often refer to the building the wall on the U.S.-Mexico border as a prime example of the fact that Donald Trump has no good ideas. And I disagree, obviously, with that sentiment because, the wall is something that has been discussed in different variations over the past several years, and in principle, it's a fairly good idea. I mean, we should be able to protect our borders, especially against nefarious agents who are bringing in, narcotics and other, engaging in human trafficking. A wall could help secure our borders. It also will help prevent our resources from being spread so thin. And in principle, we could have, quote unquote, Mexico pay for it. Although, in reality, the Mexicans will not pay for it because of the undiplomatic manner in which Trump has referred to Mexico. But in a practical financial sense, the Mexican government could partner with us, and it'll be good for the Mexican economy as well because it'll boost their jobs as this wall is being built on both sides. So it's sort of a win-win for both governments. Now, in terms of how that's going to play out specifically, of course, there's a lot of nuances and a lot of details that have to be worked out. And of course, I don't think the Mexican government is gonna pay for it, but the overall broad idea, the policy of building a wall to protect our borders, I think that's a great idea. But also, I don't like the fact that the media criticism is centered almost exclusively on the quote-unquote bad ideas of Donald Trump. I mean, let's look at some of the other ideas that other candidates have. Like, for example, the $15 minimum wage that is supported by Bernie Sanders. I mean, really, how are you going to implement that? I mean, $15, we're talking about almost doubling the current federal minimum wage. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, $15 across the board, that is knucking futz, man. That is just absolutely crazy. I mean, you're talking about bad ideas. That is just not only bad, but that is economically unsustainable. And then you have Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is running, one of his most popular policy ideas is to abolish the IRS. The one thing I hate about this idea is that it's not even a complete idea. This is a half idea. Abolish the IRS? Okay, great. Why don't we do that? What are we going to replace the IRS with? I mean, this is the problem. Like, these ideas are just so asinine and so stupid, and there are only half ideas, especially this abolish the IRS. Because usually when politicians talk about abolishing something, abolishing an agency, what they really mean is just getting rid of it in its current format and replacing it with the exact same thing, but under a different name. That's all it is. So what's really going to end up happening is that if Cruz is, God forbid, if Cruz is elected as our president, what he will do is instead of calling it the Internal Revenue Service, he'll just call it the Internal Revenue Organization. But that really does not resolve the situation. You're just rebranding a tax revenue service. That's all that you're doing. I mean, and think about the logistics of this. I mean, this is the IRS. You can love it, you can hate it, you can be somewhere in between. It doesn't matter. The IRS factually employs over 80,000 people, 80,000 Americans. So you're just saying, we're just going to abolish it. We're just going to, screw those 80,000 people. No, I mean, what? Again, this is just a half-baked idea. What are you going to do with all those people that are employed by the IRS? Those are pretty good jobs. A lot of them are pretty good jobs. Now, of course, there's major corruption at the IRS. There's major corruption everywhere, okay? Just picking on the IRS won't resolve the issue of corruption. Corruption is a wide-scale problem. And getting rid of the IRS completely, I just don't see, where how this line of reasoning occurs, because okay, you get rid of it, but that's like one of the biggest agencies in our government. What are you going to replace it with? I mean, again, I go back to the original question. What are you going to replace it with? It's not just like, hey, let's get rid of the IRS. You got to have a plan. I mean, this is just ridiculous to just, abolish one of the major agencies in our government and just say, okay, we're done. No, we're not done. We're not done. The work really just begins. I mean, it's a very half-baked idea. Once you get rid of the IRS, what next? What do we do?